Hello everyone, Bard here, or you can call me Sully. And yes, we are still in Teen Titans Go month, as we come to another list of Teen Titans Go episodes, now of this one being a list of my favorite episodes. Even when I started watching the show, I already had more favorite episodes than expected, and found 10 that I like within the first season. Yet, as I watched more, I came to enjoy, believe it or not, 35 episodes of the show so far. Yes, 35. That's how many I found to be my favorite. But for now, I'll go over 10 that I like, whether they be ones that I saw for the first time, or ones that I've seen a second time. So, without further ado, here is my top 10 list of my top 10 favorite Teen Titans Go episodes. Number 10. And the award for sound design goes to Rob. For an episode with the longest title I've seen so far, this is one that sticks out in the audio department as it's mostly done in silence. Raven is becoming tired of all the loud noises the other Titans are making, and when a spirit called the Whisperer appears, she makes a deal with Raven to remove all sound, and thus all sound, including the Titans talking, are gone. Though Raven's able to have the Titans speak by having the Whisperer say a spell, the Titans try to bring the sound back, but the objects they use don't sound right, like Beast Boy's farts sound like turkey gobbles. So the Titans head to the Whisperer's mountain to bring the real sounds back to life. Now the title in question is one I couldn't figure out on who Rob is, but the sound design makes a lot of sense. With having the episode play with just the dialogue and messed up sounds, it makes it feel like an animatic, but being complete without music and background noise. Hearing the wrong sound come out of the wrong object is funny, the Whisperer looks and sounds cute, and for an episode done in this way, is really something to admire. And for it mostly being dialogue and even all the twists that happen, this episode is a sweet wonder. Number 9. Mouthhole. Now the title may sound disgusting, but the episode is really all about whistling, and it's quite something to witness. When the Titans head to the Hive 5 tower to take their evil plans, Robin's to stand guard and whistle if the Hive return. But Robin can't whistle, resulting in the Titans failing their mission, and Robin has to learn how to whistle and use it as a weapon from the Master of Whistling, who is in fact a teapot, parodying Mrs. Potts from Beauty and the Beast. As fun as it is to see a Mrs. Potts-esque character, it's also fun to see Robin use whistling as a weapon. Exaggerated, yes, but that's why it's a Warner Brothers cartoon. I also like the one song that's all whistling, and it's neat to hear, and all concluding with Robin and Starfire going to kiss, but it cuts to the credits before it happens, making it a pretty good tease. It might be silly in what it presents, but how I felt about it isn't all that. It's a nice episode on whistling with just the right amount of fun sprinkled around. Number 8. Sidekick. This is an interesting episode in that this is the first time the Batcave and Batmobile is featured in this show, and it goes as well as I thought. Robin heads out of the Titan Tower to look after the Batcave while Batman is away. Yet the Titans inadvertently tag along as they wanted to see the Batcave, and Robin tries to keep them from ruining everything, until they receive a distress call from Jump City of the Hive 5 committing a crime, and the Titans head to Jump City in the Batmobile, along with some of Batman's gear, to stop the Hive. The way the Batcave looks in this episode is neat, and even the Batmobile looks alright. But it's fun to see all this in Teen Titans Go, and the various Bat gadgets and gears, with one of them containing something that's pretty unexpected by the end. But the gags in it are all nice, some of the action is good, and this one face Robin makes when seeing Starfire in a bat suit is pretty funny, and it's even done twice. What more can I say? It's a really neat episode in having the Batcave present in this show, and more fun knowing that Gotham City and Jump City are within the United States. Number 7. Puppets what? There are times when the show does something creative with its look, and go for a different style, and this one is pretty neat for what it is, as well as kind of bizarre. Robin uses small marionettes of himself and the Titans to help calm his stress and anxiety when the real Titans don't listen to his demands. Seeing how strange this is, the other Titans use Robin's puppet stage as lumber for another door taking Robin out of the tower. Finally angry with the Titans, Robin meets the puppet wizard, who will make the Titans his puppets. So Robin makes the deal, and he and the Titans are turned into puppets, but he still can't make the Titans do his bidding. And thus, after learning from Raven about the puppet wizard, the Titans all go to the puppet wizard's castle to defeat the puppet wizard before sunset, or they'll stay puppets forever. While having a sock puppet be the bad guy is weird, even when he moves different in the 2D world than the puppet world, it is a crazy enough episode, but it has a creativity to it that makes it enjoyable. Seeing the Titans as puppets is neat, and the gags of being a puppet is fun, and what it all amounts to is kind of silly, but in the best ways. It's an odd episode nonetheless, but it's a fun kind of odd. Number 6. Opposites. When it comes to episodes dealing with romance, there is one couple, at least in this show, that I definitely like, and in this episode, it's Cyborg and Jinx. Whenever the Titans fight the High Five, Cyborg always goes after Jinx, mostly because he secretly loves her. So despite failing to get Jinx to love him back during battle, Cyborg attempts to get her love again with blueberry pie, which she loves, and thus the two share a romance and start to secretly date together, while Robin and Gizmo of the High Five have a disagreement with them being in love. It's a very sweet and even cute episode, and it's very lovely to see Cyborg and Jinx get along romantically. And when Jinx is shown crying after being told to split with Cyborg, it's pretty endearing. And yes, there is a point when the High Five became good, yet the Teen Titans became bad, but both Jinx and Cyborg still love each other in the end, with their kiss being, pardon the pun, electrifying. I found myself loving these two as a couple, and every time they're together, it's always sweet. And with some small good gags sprinkled all around, this is certainly a pretty lovely and romantic episode. Number 5. Scary Figure Dance. This is the show's second Halloween episode, and where the first one called Halloween was good and kind of neat, this one goes all out with many Halloween parodies and scenarios, and each one is pretty well done. The Titans were getting ready to celebrate Halloween with a party of their own, when they're called to stop the High Five who blew up the candy factory after robbing all the candy from there. But as the Titans are about to confront the Hive, they get destroyed by their weapon. And as the Hive celebrate a Halloween party at their tower, the ghosts of the Titans begin to haunt the teenage villains. There's no doubt that this episode has the most references and parodies to popular Halloween movies, songs, and moments, from Ghostbusters to the Halloween theme music, and all ending with Scary Figure Dance, parodying the Monster Mash. It's all kinds of Halloween fun that I really enjoy, and it's a simple little delight. Where the first Halloween episode dealt with being a kid again and getting spooked during trick-or-treat, this one deals with having a fun Halloween party and getting scared in the process. The costumes look good, the parodies are very fun, and all around, it's a very good episode. Number 4. Two-parter Part 1 and Two-parter Part 2. Or just Two-parter. This is the first time the show did a two-part episode, and man, it does exactly what it does, and it's really good to see, without any to-be-continues or previously on statements. It became a hot day in Jump City, and the Titans decide to take a swim in the pool at the Justice League headquarters. But since none of the League came to stop them, the Titans went in the building going through the Super's foods and spare outfits, despite Cyborg not wanting to take part in any of it, as he wants to be part of the League. Yet the Titans discover that the League were captured by Darkseid, and so they have to go in and save them. As a two-part episode, it's pretty enjoyable than many other two-part episodes, with the Titans being dressed as other superheroes, the references and gags to superhero movies and such, and having Weird Al Yankovic voice Darkseid are big highlights of the episode. Not to mention seeing Raven and Starfire in their swimsuits for most of Part 1. And as Part 1 has stated earlier on that it's going to be a two-part episode, it's quite fun to witness and a really good first one, with many fun moments scattered around. And that's that. Number 3. Dreams. This episode is on par with Puppets What? In terms of creativity, but it's done so much more and it's fun. After defeating the High Five, the Titans spent the night back at Titan Tower sleeping, as Silky goes from room to room trying to sleep. Yet each of the Titans dreaming in their sleep disturbs Silky's own sleep. But really, that's just the basic setup for the episode, because the main focus and huge highlight of the episode, as the title suggests, is showing what the Titans are dreaming about, and each one has a creative style and interpretation, not to mention kind of fun and funny. Starfire dreams of his friends being kittens, Cyborg dreams of being in a video game, and Robin dreams of kissing Starfire, but it's all done with edited and redubbed clips of the original show. But what Silky dreams at the end of the episode is so odd that I had a good laugh at it the first time, and it still kind of gets me. The styles for each of the Titans' dreams are pretty creative and funny, and not one ever let me down. It's just that enjoyable and fun. Number 2. Friendship. This is quite simply a pretty sweet, very engaging, and all-around lovely episode, catering to Raven's love for the Pretty Pegasus show, and I'm with it every minute. With the Titans fighting Control Freak as he and Raven watches the new episode of Pretty Pegasus, Control Freak teleports the Titans into the show, where Raven becomes overly enthusiastic with being in. Yet Control Freak states that the only way to escape is to learn about friendship by helping the Pegasus in their new episode. So Raven, upon meeting the Pegasi, Butterbean, and Sparkleface, go to the unicorns as they play their music too loud and want them to play quietly. But the Titans fight the unicorns and breaks one of their horns. Yet the unicorns have to play their music as it keeps the Gumdrop Goblin asleep in his mountain. But the goblin wakes and eats up the candy world, and so the heroes have to solve the problem. The whole episode is very cute, pretty colorful, and very fun, even for seeing Raven getting very excited and thanking Control Freak for being in her favorite show. But it's also very good in seeing more Pretty Pegasus than just Sparkleface and Butterbean, and how the problem is resolved is kind of nice. It's just a lovely and pretty sweet episode with a pretty engaging and simple premise. And at number 1, Meatball Party. For an episode that had me laugh more times and one that makes sense throughout, this episode is the one I enjoy the most. Cyborg throws a meatball party in which he gives out tons of meatballs to his friends, and they all eat them out, except for Raven, who's given the chance to try out Cyborg's special meatball. Yet as the Titans continued to beg Raven to eat the meatball, she eventually did, leading to the meatball breaking her tooth as it's partly made of metal. But the next day, every time Raven opens her mouth, a demon emerges from her broken tooth and terrorizes the other Titans, until it consumes them one by one into her mouth. Everything about this episode is on point with its comedy and logic. I always love and laugh at the many times Raven opens her mouth and how quickly the demon attacks. It's so fast and out of nowhere that it gave me a good laugh every time. I also like how sweet it is to have Raven do charades with Cyborg, and how it all wraps up makes sense and comes full circle with how it all began. It's a very good and fun episode, and all that it offers and all that I love about it makes it my number 1 favorite Teen Titans Go episode. And that is all of my favorite episodes. Though I could end this theme month there, as this is only about the show, but there is one more thing I like to talk about. So stay tuned for the conclusion of Teen Titans Go month as I go over their first theatrical movie. Why is nobody angry at that?